Good morning. Hi, I'm Heather. I work for the American Heart Association. This is my 5th year working with the AHA. I work with middle and high schools in the Dallas-Fort Worth and surrounding areas, okay? When I first started working with the American Heart Association, stroke was the 3rd leading cause of death in our country. And today, it's the 5th leading cause of death in our country. And so that means fewer people are dying of stroke. We want to do the same thing with heart disease. And so I'm going to talk to you today about American Heart Challenge. Your school's participating in that. All right. Here are some of the challenges that you can take, and we'll go through it as I'm talking to you today. We're trying to make sure we keep our own heart healthy so people don't have to fix it as you get older. And we're also going to talk about the mission of the American Heart Association and how you can really help make an impact in people's lives. So I want you to understand why we're doing it. Raise your hand if you did jump rope for heart when you were a little kid. Come on, be honest. All right. And so this is high school version, completely different. We're not going to give you little trinkets or we might not jump rope, okay? So, but this is the high school version. But I want you to understand before we get started why we do what we do. And so I'm going to show you this video.
You turned me into the man I always wanted to be.
Hey guys, guess what? It's a boy. But we were thrown a bit of a curveball at our 12-week ultrasound. The doctors came in and told us that our baby was diagnosed with a rare congenital heart defect called hypoplastic left heart syndrome. You never prepare yourself for something like that because it always happens to somebody else. It never happens to you. It was tough to process, and it took us a while to process this.
We did a lot of soul searching during that time, and we just realized that we would do whatever it takes to set him up for the best life possible.
4 days after he was born, Kemp went in for his first of 3 surgeries that are going to be needed to treat HLHS.
After the surgery, one of the hardest parts about it was walking into the room, seeing your own child like that. It was really tough, and at that point, he still had his chest open because of swelling, so we could literally see his heart beating inside of his chest. There's no way to truly describe the feeling of hearing the surgeon tell us that everything went exactly as planned. It was an incredible feeling. So we're about to head into Kemp's second surgery.
There comes a time where the first surgery just isn't enough as their body is growing. It's going to be tough. I'm dreading that day, honestly.
Handing him over this time will definitely be more difficult.
We've spent a lot of time with him. We know him a lot more, obviously, now. So the second surgery was an absolute success. We're very happy, and he's obviously very happy too.
We can visually see improvements in his coloring. He's more pink now. He's looking better and he's feeling better.
We're just so thankful for having him and for everything that he is. He has brought so many people together. The impact that he's already had on the world, to me, is priceless. We didn't know this at the time, but when we looked up the name Kemp, it means warrior.
Prior to the 1980s, babies that were born with this didn't have a chance. Our son is here today because of extensive research efforts. We're passionate about encouraging people to support further research, and that's what the American Heart Association does.
I can't tell you enough on how little advancements within the surgery make a humongous difference. I know that we're benefiting from that over even the last 5 years. Kemp will be going back for his third and hopefully his final surgery around 2 to 3 years old. They're making so many advancements just in short time that if you're supporting the American Heart Association, these advancements could absolutely help him in his final surgery.
We appreciate every single day that we have with him.
Seeing the growth and how he's trended in such a positive direction. For us, it's everything. He's been really himself ever since the surgery. Really, he's just, your everyday little kid at this point.
And we're going out in public.
We're out in public.
We're seeing friends now, which is a new thing. We went to a birthday party last weekend. It's awesome.
All right. So that's just one story. That's just one story of how we've impacted people's lives. 1 in 100 babies are born with a congenital heart defect. So statistically, there's probably some of you here that were born with a congenital heart defect. 1 in 3 people in our country are affected by heart disease in their lifetime. So if you look to the person to your left and you look to the person to your right, statistically, as things are right now, if we don't change them, statistically, 1 of the 3 of you will be affected by heart disease. So we don't want that. So what we're really trying to do is we're really trying to change these numbers, okay? So here's what we do at the AHA. A huge part of what we do is we fund research. We funded $3.9 billion. That's more than any other organization other than the federal government, okay, to cardiac research. We funded 13 Nobel Prize winners. So raise your hand if you know someone that has a stent in their heart or a pacemaker, okay? Takes statin drugs for high blood pressure, things like that. These all keep people alive and well to where you can spend time with your family members and they live a long, happy life. And those things weren't around until we funded a grant so that they could invent those things to help keep people alive. And that's what we're still continuing to do today. Last year we funded about 926 projects, which is awesome. It can affect people's lives like the survivor that you saw in the video here. But unfortunately, we were not able to fund about 1,100 projects. These could have been really great ideas. These could have been medical breakthroughs, but we simply ran out of money to fund. We fund as many of these as we possibly can. So when you take out your phones here in a little bit and you help us make our goal, your school set a goal to raise $3,500, you're actually funding all the projects that would otherwise go unfunded, okay? That's what we're really doing. So at your event, your school is signed up for this. The last 2 houses that have met in here, they've already raised about $3,000 just by doing that in class, but you're also gonna have a student-faculty smash battle. Might be similar to dodgeball, but of course it's not dodgeball. And you're gonna be able to donate $5 to go to that. You're gonna see Coach Howard to see how you can play in that if you want to take on the faculty. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's the most fun event is a dodgeball game, especially when it's staff and students. So that's gonna be on May 17th, so look out for information on that. All right, so at this time is when you guys can help us make the rest of our goal. The last 2 groups, yesterday and the day before the other houses, did an amazing job. I mean, seriously, you guys having already raised $3,000 for this cause is huge, and Lowry Freshman Center really knows how to do it. So at this time, you can take out your phones, and what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be signing up for your school's fundraising page. It's called American Heart Challenge. You're gonna sign up, and you're gonna copy and paste a message into your text message, and you're gonna send a fundraising link out to 5 people that you think might donate. You guys know who those people are by now, probably. So, it's American Heart Challenge. Once you find American Heart Challenge, it should look like this. If it looks like this, you're in the right place, okay? You're gonna search Lowry, scroll down, and you're gonna click Sign Up. Sign up. Next, it's gonna ask, log in. Did you have an account next to you? You're gonna say, no, I'm new. No, I'm new. This is the fundraising page. You're not actually donating right now, so you're gonna say no thanks and next. If you're still pulling out that phone, you're gonna search American Heart Challenge. You're gonna search for Lowry, scroll down, click sign up, no, I'm new, and now you're at no thanks, I'm next. And this is the last part that takes a little bit of time. Under teacher's name, if you could put your house number there, that would be cool. If you've already passed it, it's okay. You're gonna be creating a username. It can't contain any special characters or spaces. It asks you for a t-shirt size. If you raise 50 bucks, you might get a t-shirt. So put your t-shirt size in. And it's gonna ask you to take a heart healthy challenge. So that's gonna be either to learn hands-only CPR, which you guys are getting ready to do. It's gonna be to exercise for an hour every day, or to say no to smoking or vaping. About 400 Lowry kids have already taken those challenges, so I hope you guys will too. When you get to the very bottom of this, you're going to need to answer a couple of questions, mostly the t-shirt size and the challenge, and you're going to have to say, yes, I agree, and click next. And when you get that far, you don't have to keep holding your phone up, but just hold your phone up and let me know you've gotten that far so I can give you the last step. When you finish this, you're just about done. Are you done? Cool. So I'm going to stay on the screen for a little bit, but the very next thing you're going to do, if you see a pop-up, you're going to close out, X out of that pop-up. It asks if you want to customize your URL. Nobody cares about that. So you're going to X out of that. And then you're going to be in the website. It should say sign up summary. You're going to say next. So if you see sign up summary, click next. If you're still signing up, no big deal. Sometimes that takes a long time to come up with a username that it likes. If it's giving you an error, it's probably because your username isn't unique enough or something like that, or you forgot to say, yes, I agree, before you hit next. So once you are signed in, you're gonna be in the website on your phone, okay? So you're gonna look, this is the very last thing for you to do to help your school finish making the goal, is you're gonna see where it says email challenge. You're gonna scroll to the very bottom of that, and you're gonna click copy email text. And then you're simply going to open up your text messages, think about who can I send this to. It's gonna be your donation link, okay? So all they have to do is click on the link and donate. It's gonna have this message. You're gonna paste that into your text message and send it to 5 or more people that you think might donate. I was blown away with the last 2 houses, how many people raised money before I even got off the stage, so it's pretty cool. And once you've done that, you're mostly done. There is a place, and I want to tell you that I know that Facebook is for lame old people, but let me tell you, if you have a Facebook, you don't even have to tell your friends, okay, because they're not on it, because they're cool. But lame old people donate. And so if you have a secret Facebook, if you scroll down a little bit further, it says fundraise with Facebook, push that button, and all the lame old people that watch you, or that follow you, on Facebook, they will likely donate to this cause. So don't be afraid to post that too. All right, so normally at this time, I ask if anybody needs any help to raise your hand. There's a lot of you, so ask your neighbor. If you're still working on sending this, that's great. All right, I hope you send it to grandmas, aunts, uncles, all that. But I'm gonna go on, and I'm going to talk to you about how to recognize the warning signs of stroke, because you guys are about to learn CPR. Raise your hand if you already know CPR. Whoa, that's great. The reason we work with state legislators to make sure that everybody that graduates learns CPR is to make sure that there's a whole lot of lifesavers out there. And so that's what you guys are gonna be doing. I hope you take it really seriously as you learn CPR. The person is very likely to be somebody you know, because 80% of out-of-hospital cardiac arrests, they happen in homes. That means it could be someone in your family. It could be somebody that you've invited into your home, and they are twice as likely to survive if they get those compressions. So another thing I want to talk to you guys about, how you can save somebody's life, is how to recognize the warning signs of stroke. Raise your hand if anybody wants to be brave and just, if they know the warning signs of stroke. Yes? Face droop. Okay. All right. I think you might have them, and it's hard for me to hear in here. So face drooping is one. That was very smart, very resourceful of you. Arm weakness is one. Speech difficulty is another one. So I'm going to show you this video with Paul George. Can anybody tell me who Paul George plays for? You guys are so smart. All right. So I'm going to show you this quick video. Again, if you're still doing the texting for donations, do that. If you're doing the text, the person that's sitting next to you, maybe don't do that. But I'm going to go ahead and show you this video. When we're done, I want you guys to be able to tell me what FAST stands for.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. It's got nothing to do with fairness. Bam, your whole world changes in an instant. And you never see it coming. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke. F-A-S-T, fast.
All right. What does the F stand for? Shout it out. Face drooping. What does the A stand for? Arm weakness. What does the S stand for? And when you see all three of those, what does the T stand for? All right. Please be confident in that if you ever have to use it. We've had these talks, and then weeks later, we've had somebody say, hey, I learned that FAST thing, and it helped me get help for my family member. I hope you don't have to use that, but don't doubt yourself if you do. When someone's having a stroke, that means that oxygen is not getting to their brain, okay? And the longer the time goes by, the more likely they are to suffer for long-term brain damage. It's kind of like if someone were drowning. You wouldn't want to take out your phone and check WebMD to see what you should do for them. You would want to get them help right away, right? So if you get someone help right away that's having a stroke, it could make the difference between they had a stroke and they're okay now, or they had a stroke and now they're having to learn how to walk or talk all over again. So it does make a very big difference. So I hope you'll be able to use that. You guys already told me how many people have already learned CPR and how many of you are about to get to learn that. Again, I can't stress it enough. Please take that very seriously. Where's another place besides a hospital and a home that you're very likely that someone could suffer from cardiac arrest? Popeyes. That's funny. All right. Think about school. There's a lot of you here, okay? So if you were walking down the hallway at your school and someone collapsed in the hall of cardiac arrest and they were not responsive, what do you do? All right. You get a teacher, right? It's not wrong to call 911 too, but if you're in a school setting, there's a lot of adults that are trained and they have a whole team ready to deal with a situation like that. So get a teacher. Now, hear this. I do not want you to walk past, the math teacher and go find a specific teacher, but just so you know, what kind of people in any school are very well trained in CPR? Nurse, who else? Police officer? What about coaches? They're great. They're all guaranteed trained in CPR. But please, don't leave the person laid out on the floor and walk past the math teacher and the science teacher and all of this looking specifically for those. You go get the first teacher that you can find. Got it? It can make a big, huge difference. Now, let's say somebody pointed to you and said, go get the AED. Raise your hand, be honest, if you might say something like this. Who's the AED? Anybody? All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the AED is a little box. It's usually close to the gym or the nurse. And it's the defibrillator. It's the thing like you see in the movies, and it says, and they say clear, and they put it on them, and it shocks their heart back into beat. So I encourage you all, can someone tell me, resource officer, can you tell me where the closest AED is to right here? His office right outside those doors. So when you walk in any school, please be really aware of where that is, because probably staff are going to be the ones that go retrieve that AED, but anytime you're in a public place, please make sure you know where that is, because somebody could point to you and say, hey, go get it. And let me tell you, if someone's responding to somebody that is not living and they're trying to bring them back to life and keep them alive, having that AED is a really big relief, because it's like this little CPR robot that really tells them what to do. It talks to them and everything. All right. All right, you guys have been a really cool audience. I have one last video to show you. When you're watching this, there's like cute babies and cool stuff, but I want you to think about the fact that you're a part of something really big. So I work with about 70 middle and high schools in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but there's schools all over that are all coming together to really help with this cause. There's even adult programs out there like Heart Walk and Heart Ball, and so you're part of something really huge. So I want you to think about the lives you're impacting and what a big cause you're part of. bell rings in 1 minute, so we're doing good on time. You guys sort of just raised close to $500. Your school has raised $3,455 towards your $3,500 goal. Give yourself a hand. Here's a few things. If you haven't done it yet, you can still be part of it. If you've sent out those text messages, you will probably get text messages back or phone calls, from people that say, hey, I got this message. what's this about? Please be able to say, our school's raising money for the American Heart Association. Please donate. That's pretty simple, but a lot of people, especially like grandmas and stuff, they're like, what is this text about? So make sure and explain that to them. And thank you guys for being awesome. Thanks.